Badlands. Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Herald here on Badlands Media. I'm your host, Jon Herold, and happy Wednesday. What a happy Wednesday it is. Last night's State of the Union from Trump was, I don't even know how to describe it. It was great. It was one of his best speeches I think he's probably ever given. He didn't stray from the script very often. He did on occasion, but he's so good at when he does the meandering thing. But when he stays on message too, it can be very powerful. And he did have a very good message to put forth. And there's some great moments we'll talk about a little bit. I'm not feeling too salty today. A couple things we'll go over that do make me a little salty, but overall, I think it was a win last night. Even some of my buddies, like my golf chat group, the normies or whatever, even though they're not really normies, but they're more on the normie side than they are like into what we think. They watched our coverage and they thought it was pretty good. So that's pretty great. Elf Boy, my lighting is not that bad, bro. But yeah, eventually I will turn this desk around. It will be back to what it was before, which was also probably still bad. This isn't a studio. This is a freaking office in my basement. So give me a break. My voice is feeling a little weird, a little off today. Yesterday, my son had his first basketball practice, and I'm the coach. It's just like at the YMCA. It's nothing crazy. And I used to coach basketball all the time. Like I did a whole junior high season, which was like 3 months of practice every day, games like once, twice a week. So, but anyway, my voice was not used to the yelling you have to do in a busy gym to get 8-year-olds' attention. And I lost my voice pretty quickly. But I got it back. Bitcoin is up to almost 69,000. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Elfboy doesn't want me to turn my desk around. What are you talking about? I like the other background. We'll get to it. We'll figure it out later. But yeah, let's get a quick word from our sponsors, and then we'll play a couple clips from last night's State of the Union. I mean, the clips everybody's seen. The Democrats not standing at that one point. I mean, so stupid. That will come back to haunt them to a degree. How much we'll find out, considering our elections are fake and fraudulent. It's hard to know how much damage stuff like that could do. If we had free and fair, like legitimate elections, though, definitely. But we'll see. Yelling at children. Yeah, it's brutal too. So my son, he loves sports. He's a pretty athletic kid. And like last year when he played, there was a couple kids on the team better than him. This year, he's one of the better kids, but it's like he's progressing at a normal pace, I would say. It's just his team's not very good. There's a couple first timers. It's gonna be a rough year. Seeing Stewart, love it. I stepped up 1 year to coach teenage girls team entering high school. Great experience. Yeah, when I coached even before I had kids. Like the grade school athletic director for the school system here in town used to be my former baseball coach, and he asked me and my buddy if we wanted to coach. I think it was 4th grade boys basketball, or no, it would have been 5th grade. I was like, yeah, we'll do it. So we did it. We had a lot of fun. Kids liked it. Parents liked us. And so then we got asked to do the girls teams as well. So we did that. And then the next year they asked us to do 6th grade boys and then girls. And then I got asked to coach the girls traveling team. So I did that for a little bit. And then 7th grade boys, 7th grade girls. And then finally, I think I finished, my last year was 8th grade boys. And it was the year after my son was born. So after that, I didn't really have the time commitment to do it. But I really do like coaching. Now that my kids are getting back into it, it's we're getting into the sports where I can start coaching again. I'm enjoying it. That's not the basement, CC. Yes, it kind of is. It's downstairs. Everybody deserves a chance. I coach Little League. What a trip. Yeah, I coach my son's baseball team too. I love coaching. Yeah, and it's like Y-ball. Everybody's going to get to play the same amount. It's just the kids are so competitive, and they don't understand that, like, hey, we're here to mainly have fun, but also just get better. It's not about winning. And then they get freaked out when they lose by a bajillion. Anyway, okay, let's real quick, sponsors of today's show. First up, we got River, and I'm not even going to show you the actual ad. I'm just going to show you the website. Bitcoin at 68.6. And you know what? Actually, River, they put out a tweet the other day, maybe 2 days ago, talking about Bitcoin adoption. And I think this is worth reading because let me pull it up here. Go to Twitter, go to @River, and you'll get to this account. And their pinned tweet from February 24th. So that would have been yesterday. Yeah. There's no bear market in Bitcoin adoption. Institutions are buying record amounts of Bitcoin. Institutions accumulated 829,000 Bitcoin in 2025. Investment advisors have been net buying for 8 quarters in a row. 60% of the top U.S. banks are building Bitcoin products. Adoption by public companies grew by 2.5x in 2025. Merchant adoption grew by 74% in 2025. The Lightning Network grew by 300% in 2025. 5 additional nation states hold Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is no longer too volatile, even though like the price has come down. It's almost like half of what its high was. But the volatility is closely more matching that of gold and the S&P 500. So the people that are dooming out over Bitcoin and, you know, the recent price dip, it's not going anywhere. It's like almost like the infrastructure of it is being laid out. And I'm not a financial advisor, but if you're going to get Bitcoin, I would encourage you to get a couple bucks a month here and there, $5-10 a week, whatever you can afford. Just get sats, stack those sats. You will not regret it. Don't worry about the price as much as the sats. Badlandsmedia.tv/river. You will not regret it. And then also, if you're going to get a Bitcoin or get Bitcoin, you should put it on a cold storage wallet. Go to badlandsmedia.tv/trezor, TREZOR. You also will not regret that. Can't take it from you. All right. Let's start real quick with Doge. No update on the Doge website. Silver is popping off. Gold as well. Silver almost to $92. Gold over 5,200. No update on the presidential website. It's been a slow couple months with executive orders. But all right, let's listen to probably what will end up being the most viral moment from last night's State of the Union. And remember, there were a lot of Democrats that skipped this speech altogether. I think there was something like 70-something. I don't know. I haven't heard any confirmed numbers, and it doesn't really matter, but a lot of them skipped. The ones that did attend, there wasn't a whole lot of like shenanigans. Al Green got kicked out. He had a sign that was, you know, what did it say? Black people aren't apes or something. I don't even remember what it was, but he got kicked out again. There was some yelling back and forth, especially after this little moment we're going to watch here. But I was kind of expecting a little bit more fireworks. It was pretty tame. And Trump handled it really well. He called them out when they deserved to be called out. But they sat during like some just boneheaded moments. Even if you don't believe the message, like clearly these people hate America. Clearly these people, and it's, I don't want to get confused here. Like it's a uniparty show here. It really is. This whole thing is a uniparty show. Even the Republicans that were standing and cheering for everything, which is also kind of gay. The whole thing it's stupid. It's pretending for the most part. All these people work together to screw us over. But even from like the standpoint of the uniparty controlled opposition dynamic, how stupid to just not stand with that, even if you don't believe it. Like, because this will be used, this moment, in campaign ads all the way up until the midterms. And whether or not it has any effect, we'll talk about that. But let's just watch it quick.
One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight, I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Let me play this one more time. Just this little click. If you stand with this, if you agree with the statement, right? Pretty easy. If you agree with what he's about to say, just stand up.
Is to protect American city of the American. Show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
These people are idiots. The first duty of the American people, or first duty of elected representatives, to protect the American people over the interests of illegal aliens. And I mean, how do you can't really explain this away from their perspective. I mean, some people have come out and said, oh, it was just racist. Not all illegal aliens are non-white. There's probably some white illegal aliens too. So they're the racist ones. But dumb. So dumb. But we'll play it out. Brilliant move by Trump, too. I mean, the past however many State of the Unions, this is what it's become. You know, whoever's party is in power and president, whatever, who's given the speech, they say something. And if they present it as good, your side stands and claps and the other side sits down. It goes both ways. This is how they always work. For Trump, it's even more dramatic because the left is insane and they do all sorts of insane stuff. At least that's how they pretend to act when they're up there. Because that's what their base is. They're all crazy. Trump called that out last night too. But knowing that and going into this and putting that in your speech, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And we were told going into, this State of the Union that Trump was really going to focus on messaging for the midterms. And I think he did a good job of that. But like I said, even though I understand the elections are fake and fraudulent, and I don't think something like this will have an effect in terms of whether or not they're able to steal the election or whatever. I don't think this is going to negatively impact any races where they are stealing them. You know what I mean? But in terms of the psyche and the mindset of people, even people who are don't like Trump and don't feel the effects of the economy or whatever, maybe they're more normie than not. It's hard to unsee that and explain that away and justify that. Even to your group of friends. Somebody puts this clip and they're like, dude, how can you support these people who won't even stand up for Americans over illegal aliens? And granted, there are people who believe that illegal aliens are on equal footing to American citizens. There are lots of mental illnesses out there, guys. But it's going to be pretty hard to explain this away and forgive this, which is a net win. This last night was a big net win for Trump. Again, unless we fix our election system, not going to have the effect we think it might. But absolutely love this part. Brilliant to put it in here.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities.
Oh, these people are crazy.
That protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block.
You have killed Americans, I think she said.
The removal of criminal aliens, in many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country. They're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Brilliant. The optics there couldn't have been better. Phil Scarver, wait a minute. Is John happy? I'm always happy, Phil. I'm just a realist as well. Give me a break. The scolding was awesome. Wow, just listen to the demons yelling. Yeah. What's up, party people? Good to see you, Bass Burns. The only legitimate function of the government is to protect us from force and fraud. It does neither. Yeah, that's another side of this. Let me see if I can find that clip here. See if CanCon put it out here. I'm not finding it. Well, we can play this one. Trump talks about the SAVE Act.
And perhaps most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act. To stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. That cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant. It's very simple.
And see that this right here, guys, is why I'm saying like those are great optics and everything, and they're going to be used for the midterms. But with how rampant the cheating is, it may not have the effect tangibly that we think it will. But maybe it's like, maybe that's another wake-up call. Like, how could they possibly win this election when they wouldn't stand for American citizens? You know, who knows?
All voters must show voter ID. All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote. And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. None. And this should be an easy one. And by the way, it's polling at 89%, including Democrats, 89%. And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot. Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a Social Security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. No, it's no good. No good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated. And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens.
Great stuff. But I want to show you something about the mail-in ballots. So last night while we were doing the coverage, I was in a little group Badlands chat for the people that were on the stream, and Chris sent this over. And this is from Manu Raju. He is somebody at CNN, anchor and chief congressional correspondent. And this is what he said. He said, Trump also calling to limit mail-in ballots, an issue ours wish he wouldn't harp on. They say it's critical to embrace mail-in voting to keep up with Dems' advantage there. Now, not shocking at all, uniparty-wise. Like, obviously, they want the mail-in ballots too. It protects their system, protects the uniparty. But I haven't heard any Republicans like go on record saying this, as far as I'm aware. I would like to see more info on that, but just the data point I wanted to put out there. Anyway, so he says he wants to bring the SAVE Act to the floor, and this is what John Thune said this morning. It sounds like he's going to be bringing it to a vote.
And if so, when?
Well, we will. We'll put the Democrats on the record. And it's a stark contrast, Aisha. The Democrats, even in the chamber last night, having to sit there and try and defend allowing non-citizens to vote in American elections. That is a losing proposition for them. So we will get a vote on it. And we are right now in the middle of a government shutdown, so we've got to try and get the government opened up first. But in due time, we will get that up on the floor. We will have a vote on it. We will make sure that the Democrats are on the record. It is a stark contrast between Republicans and Democrats about how they want to handle elections in this country. And this is going to put them, I think, in a very difficult position. It's an issue, if I were running as a Democrat in the midterm elections in November, I wouldn't want to have to defend.
And if so, when?
I still don't think this bill is going to pass. I really don't. Because don't they need a 2/3 majority or 3/5? Like, don't they need 60 votes to pass it? Let me look that up quick. How many votes needed to pass the SAVE Act in the Senate? So I'm pretty sure it's going to be 60. Because this isn't one of those, I can't remember what they're called, one of those bills where you just need simple majority. Yeah, they need 60 votes to clear the filibuster and move to final passage. There's just no way they get that. So it's not going to pass anyway, but huge push for it. Going to be interesting to see. And putting them on the record, while great, I don't think these people care about being on the record against it. They've been on the record stating that they're against the SAVE Act this whole time. You know? Bather Dave, why are we so sure elections have ever been real? Because they tell us. Yeah. Q Less says we will get 9 more people to vote. It's a standing vote. John, nope. After talking filibuster ends, they need 50 plus 1. You think we're going to get? You think we're going to get that? Okay. I've heard people talking about this talking filibuster thing. Let's see what happens. I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced we get it. Not if you do a standing filibuster. That's what everybody keeps saying. Is that how he's going to bring it to the floor? Spetzel, any word on what the raid on the LAUSD superintendent's office and home were about? I have not heard about that. Let me look it up. Spetzel, good to see you, by the way. FBI raids home and office of LAUSD superintendent. Conducting raids on their home. Nature of the investigation is not known. According to FBI statement provided to Deadline, agents are executing court-authorized warrants at the locations, but the affidavits have been sealed by the court. The news comes word earlier this week that the Los Angeles School Board had approved $250 million in bonds to settle sex abuse claims. That is on top of $500 million authorized less than a year ago to fund payouts to victims. You know what? That's another thing. We don't talk about this enough. Everybody's demanding, all these Congress people, Thomas Massey or whatever, demanding like we need to expose the names on the Epstein list. How about we expose the names of the senators and Congress people who have used the slush fund to pay for, you know, the sex crimes that they've done? Isn't that a thing? Isn't there a slush fund for congressmen and women to like pay out crimes they've committed? Either pay off people or pay for attorney's fees or whatever settlements. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Yeah, this is interesting. I'll keep an eye on this story. Thanks for bringing it up, Spetzel. No, let me look at that. Congressional Payoff Fund. Yeah, here. Real Clear Policy. $18.2 million congressional slush fund for Me Too claims. Since 1997, the Office of Congressional Workplace Rights has paid out $18.2 million to settle 291 cases of workplace disputes for Congress, Capitol Police, and Architect of the Capitol and Library of Congress. Congress was accused of having a veritable Me Too slush fund to secretly pay off victims of sexual harassment. Crazy. Yeah, let's see the names on that. It's appropriated annually by Congress. Unbelievable. A 2019 report noted 16 employees were paid a total of $600,363 in settlement, while 20 claims were filed. Just 16 appear to have been filed by protected class, 3 under sex, gender, pregnancy. Yeah, we do have a right to know more details on that. This is probably even a woke agenda here. I don't know. Well, real clear policy. Is that Sperry? Pretty sure that's Paul Sperry. Suing government is just suing your neighbors. Tweet that, John. I will tweet that later after the show. Una Panuna just posted about that today on Twitter. Of course she did. Mace is threatening to expose sexual harassment perpetrators in Congress. I hate Nancy Mace. I'm sorry. She's so annoying. They're all so annoying. But yeah, there's one more clip I wanted to share. This one.
This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President, J.D. Vance. He'll get it done. And if we're able to find enough of that fraud, we will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. This is.
I can't tell if this person's a troll in the chat or not. I think they are. Hold on. I can't tell. Anyway, Phil says, I need to up my salt levels. Yeah. Oh man, Phil, did you delete your comment? Is that possible? I thought I saw you say something. Anyway, RT Joan, if there's sexual harassment going on, it should be exposed. Agreed. Ramon 222, Omar and Smelly Balls Timmy, Dem Party in a nutshell. John, next Congress interview, you should ask about that slush fund list also. I will. That's a great idea. And I still can't get Tim Burchett to come on, Ty. Need some help. I thought I had another in with oh gosh, who was it? I think it was Josh, Red Pill Project. He had interviewed him in the past and they were in contact with somebody, but it hasn't come through yet. I really want to interview him. But okay, slush or the fraud, right? We have JD Vance. He's tasked with, taking care of the fraud, whatever. He's going to commit war on fraud, just like the war on terror and whatever. But this is what JD Vance said this morning on one of the news channels. If I can find it. Where did I put it? Yeah, here we go. JD Vance. This is what he said.
As you look at this, go ahead and explain it to us because we want to understand what the job is. And what do you think the number is?
Well, I don't know what the top line number, Bill, is, and I think that's unfortunate that nobody has ever tried to take a systematic look at how much fraud there is in the federal government. How many illegal aliens are on Medicaid? We know that it's billions and billions of dollars that should go to American citizens. It's going to illegal aliens. How many fraudulent daycare centers have been set up where that money should go to American citizens to help their kids get into childcare? Instead, it's being stolen from them by illegal aliens in our country. How much have government officials actually been complicit in this fraud because some of them have gotten wealthy, or at the least, they've gotten campaign donations from the people who have gotten rich from that fraud? The story of the American economy in so many ways during the Biden administration, Bill, is that the American citizen was ripped off for people who shouldn't be here and by politicians who should have known better. And the Trump administration, the president has asked me to take a full whole government approach to trying to understand that. And what does that mean, Bill? That means, first of all, the Department of Justice is going to be investigating and, where possible, throwing fraudsters in prison. But it's also going to mean that Scott Bessent and some of our friends at the Treasury Department, we're going to be looking at income tax records. We're going to be trying to understand how it is that the American people have been defrauded, how it is that people have used resources and programs that should go to American citizens instead have been going to fraudulent uses. There's a whole host of tools that we have that have never been used. And the president, I talked about this a couple of months ago and said, what if we just did everything that we could to stop the fraud that's being committed against the American taxpayer? The president said, great idea, let's do it. And we're going to work on that very aggressively over the next year.
So Wahlberg Forge basically took what I was going to say and posted it in the chat. He says, I'm old enough to remember when Doge was supposed to do this. And boy, oh boy, like that's it. I nailed it. I thought we were taking on fraud. How come we can't seem to actually get rid of the fraud? Now we need a war on fraud. Perfectly timed to, the lead up of the midterms. We've been talking about this for a long time. He doesn't give a top line number. Trump hinted at it a while ago in his Davos speech. I keep harping on this number, but he says if we can get rid of half the fraud, we can balance the budget, which means the total fraud is over $3 trillion because the deficit from 2025 was $1.57 trillion, and it's only growing every single year. But the fraud is such a major problem, and you cannot get a single government official to justify why anybody should be paying taxes when all that happens to our money is it gets taken and stolen from us. Whether it's by illegal aliens or NGOs or corrupt politicians, you name it. It's all of them. Foreign countries. The government hasn't spent our money appropriately, maybe ever, but certainly not in a very long time. And it's disgusting. I mean, I'm hopeful. I want to like JD Vance. I don't know. I'm pretty neutral on him. Some people are pretty harsh on him. Some people love him. I don't know yet. I'm not ready to dub him the 2028 guy. I still want Trump. But this could be a good test. But I think there should be an explanation. Like somebody should ask, like, why do we need a war on Trump that you're going to oversee when we were sold a bill of goods that Doge was doing that? But Doge hasn't really done that. And I remember I used to get shit from you guys, not all of you, but some of you, when I would be a little more skeptical of Doge than others. And I don't know, haven't had an update on the website in a while. Doge clearly isn't doing its job appropriately if we need a specific war on fraud led by JD Vance. They see it as an issue. And why is it taking so long to get to the bottom of it? Like, why now? I mean, I get it. It's great for Trump and the optics to be like, we're declaring war on fraud. It's going to be hard to find anybody in America that isn't like supportive of not having our tax dollars spent fraudulently, It's got to be a pretty bipartisan issue with most people. So it looks good for Trump to say that. But why haven't we tackled this a lot earlier? That's my question. Did I really call it the slut fund instead of the slush fund? Was that a thing? Miss Watley, my youngest was born in 2017. Should we 9 this Friday? What year was your oldest born? He was born in 2018. His 8th birthday is coming up here in March. Babbage 3 for $5. Prediction time. Who eliminates more fraud, Vance or Doge? Who you got? Probably neither, if I'm being honest. But thank you for the Rumble rant. Did you know we have super chats available over on our YouTube channel now? We finally got monetized over there, Babbage. I think we had some come in during DEF CON last night. I think I saw. Ish205 over on YouTube says, see how fast they'll find you if you don't pay your taxes. Yeah. It's crazy. Put Scott Besson and his Treasury audits on following the money and put these MFs in prison or deport them. Spencer, if JD is very successful with fraud, he's a shoo-in in 2028. If not, he's eliminated. DJT, put him front and center. It's a great point. And he says all the right things. He's likable. Comes off as likable. But I don't know. Ramon222, Doge is still doing it, as I understand it, but distributed to various agencies now. We just need some tangible numbers. We need more tangible numbers. The Doge website isn't doing it. The Doge Twitter, the message that Doge was selling, I don't think people really grasped onto, like on a normie level. In the MAGA community, everybody's celebrated every little thing that came out. But it really tapered off, the messaging around it and everything. So maybe this is the way to reinvigorate that narrative. I don't know. John, where's Big Balls? Do you think he's hanging with Dong? I haven't seen Big Balls in a while. I think he's still in government. The core of the fraud is the Fed, which is a private company. Our debt is all fraud and should be reset, a true Jubilee event. Should be, but will they be willing to pull that trigger? I do not know. And that's one of the things that it's difficult to figure out. Like when Trump is continuing to operate on the normie level and the normie, battle space, we talk like the mainstream media battle space, which is fiat money and we have a deficit and fraud and all these things. How do we unroll all that? Like obviously the easy solution and the thing that we all want is like, hey, let's just flip a switch and say, this is all fraud. We're no longer going to pay it. Nassar, all that stuff. It's very wishful thinking. And I wish that would be the case. I'm skeptical, though. I don't think he's going to do that method. It's got to be something else. No idea what that would be, but Salt Muncher ODA, Doge set it up. Vance knocks it down. Badlands Media fans, should we tolerate half the fraud being allowed to continue? No, we shouldn't tolerate any of it. But Trump was just saying, if we get rid of half the fraud, we'd have a balanced budget. Imagine if we got rid of all the fraud. Badlands Media fan, John, when will you forgive us, your chat, for occasionally disagreeing with you? I always forgive you guys. I never hold it against you. I only get mad at the actual trolls that sometimes pop in, like new names, haven't been in here ever, and all they do is disingenuously kind of low-key attack. 12 Indie Boy, I agree with this. I want public justice for all the fraud. If you were given the option, either public justice for the fraud, maybe this is a stupid question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Public justice for all the fraud, or public justice for all the RICO stuff, which would you take if you could only pick one? And I know we all want both, and maybe we're going to get both, and likely it's a lot of the same people. But what do you think would be better for the country? To prosecute and get rid of all the fraud, or prosecute and get rid of the intel community and some of those higher up elected officials? Walbert Forge, the only effective war on fraud is not paying them anymore. I agree. RT Joan, timing is everything. It's very true, but that's an excuse we often use for when things just aren't happening quick enough. And instead of pushing the issue, we're just like, well, timing is everything. Spetzel, so funny how so many Doge staffers went into different departments. And yes, that did happen. That did happen. Doge is dead. I haven't paid income tax since 1998. I still have my house and a car. That's insane. Walbert Forge, wait till you get super chats and they ban you again. Yeah, that's probably coming. Maybe they've been sandbagging the Doge numbers to help Vance look better. That's an interesting thought. And wouldn't put it past them to lie to us. Doge has been incorporated in all the agencies. Their investigators. Silver is over 91 an ounce again today. We deserve both. I agree. Rico. I see you guys want the Rico over the fraud. It's just we have so many damn issues in this country. It's insane. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got, I think, from the speech last night. Again, it was a banger. I'd encourage you to send it to your friends. We should come up with a highlight reel, and I'm sure that's already out there. But it is good to send to your normie friends to. I don't think it's gonna maybe get them on your side, but at least have them question, like, hey, do you support this? Do you support people who don't stand for American citizens over illegal aliens? just to get the excuses. I'm curious to see what they say. Fraud everywhere, more fraud than not fraud, says Tattoo Teacher. That's the thing. That's the thing. I believe that too. Totally. Okay, what else we got here? I got a couple random stories we'll go through. America First Legal files lawsuits targeting Biden-era misinformation censorship initiative. I think this is an interesting lawsuit because something like this is almost what Susan Rice said they wanted when they get back in power. Not necessarily just misinformation, but like retribution, re-education. They want to get revenge on people who supported Trump and his admin and people like us. But if they get the opportunity again to do a misinformation initiative, they're going to go right back to it. That's why I have no like place in my heart to forgive and forget people like Mark Zuckerberg and the YouTubes of the world. Like, yeah, we want to try to make money where we can, but Rumble will always be our go-to, because as soon as they have an opportunity to censor us and label us as misinformation people and demonetize us, they're going to do it. But yeah, so an investigation into how they did all this stuff, I think is important. The AFL said, announced Monday that it's filed 3 lawsuits to force federal agencies to release records related to the Biden administration's misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation initiative, seeking to detail coordination between U.S. officials and outside entities on online speech moderation and censorship policies. And if they come out with proof, which I think they will if they are successful in these lawsuits, talk about reparations. The companies that participated with this, not just the government agencies, and I don't want to foot the bill as a taxpayer for the government to, fund settlements for those kind of lawsuits. That's ridiculous. The people that actually did the action should be the ones footing the bill. Like the individual government people. They shouldn't be protected because they worked for the government at the time. That doesn't help us. But the people, these companies like the Facebooks and YouTubes and Google and whatever it is, all of them should be held liable as well. Not just because of like lost income and stuff, but think of how much damage they did to the country. And like, what do they call it? It's lost potential or something like that. I can't think, there's like a term for it. But how much of that was there for 4 years or more? It's insane. The damage that the mainstream media and like the establishment, big tech, a lot of the private sector, all these outside entities, the damage they actually did to this country because of their actions is incalculable, just like our fraud. Miss Watley, do you think we'll ever get DOJ checks? I doubt it. Opportunity cost, that's the word. Thank you, unexpected girl. Appreciate that. Cian Stewart, we will be so wealthy we won't know what to do with it all. Yeah, Trump did make an interesting comment last night where he was, I wrote it down. He's like, we have more money than people understand. And, it could be just one of his like off script comments out there. And he's talking about all the great things in the country and things are going well and all these things. We're getting money in from tariffs and whatnot. But the fact that he said that, and I'm sitting here like, dude, we're like $39 trillion in debt. Like, do we have that kind of money? I don't know. I hope they send them out next week. Yeah, don't hold your breath, guys. Do not hold your breath. Paramount raises offer from Warner Bros. Discovery board signals it could top Netflix bid. This thing's been going on forever. David Ellison's Paramount Skydance has submitted a revised proposal for Warner Bros. By the way, Netflix, they have like ads now. Super dumb. I should just stop. I barely watch. I guess, I don't know. We watch movies now and then. Some of them that we like to watch are on Netflix. It's hard to support that shit. I'd be curious to see what Paramount does if they get it, though. And it seems like they're not going to let it slip through the grasp. Hopefully they fire Suzanne Rice, first of all. Records show Georgia prosecutor coordinated Trump case closely with Biden DOJ and the J6 panel. So there's been these ongoing FOIA requests by Just the News and America First Legal. They've kind of partnered up to do it. They've been trying to get these records from Fulton County, and they finally like released them unredacted completely. 8,000 pages of memos under the open records law. And they show exactly what we knew was happening, which was coordination between what Fannie was doing in Fulton County and the J6 investigation by Jack Smith and the Biden DOJ. They were all working together. They were all working together to delegitimize Trump. Not a surprise or shock to anybody. What else do we got here? Man, I thought I had at least a couple more stories. Hold for processing. Oh, I thought this was, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but I thought this was interesting. They figured out there's a White House staffer who is running like a big pro-Trump account. It's that Johnny Mega account. I think it's a little suspicious. Maybe not suspicious is the right word, but I don't love this because this account gets shared and a ton of interaction by people connected to the White House. And they play it off as like just an anonymous account, but it's somebody who works in the White House. Like, is he also getting money from that, from Twitter? Because I'm sure he's monetized and making bank. Dude gets a ton of engagement. But yeah, the Johnny Mega account is this guy, Garrett Wade, who works for the Trump administration as a rapid response manager. I think he might be running the rapid response account as well. So I wonder if at any point he shared his own tweets. I don't know. Thought that was just a weird story, though. I was going to go through some of this like CNN fact check stuff, but I don't really care to do that right now. Kind of boring. Uh-oh. This is new. Trump tells committee chairs he backs controversial spy law extension. Not a huge fan of this, I don't think. Trump tells committee chairs he backs the spy law extension. Congress faces an April 20th deadline to renew the Section 702 surveillance program. President Trump wants Congress to sidestep internal debates and extend a key surveillance program. He has made the demand directly to key Hill Republicans. At issue is the foreign spy program known as Section 702, which is set to lapse on April 20th. Lawmakers in both parties want to impose new restrictions to prevent the intelligence community from searching program data for Americans without a warrant. Trump has instead asked for a straight extension with no changes, according to Senate Intelligence Committee Chair Tom Cotton and 3 other senior lawmakers. President Trump has requested a simple, clean extension, and I support the commander-in-chief on this vital national security decision. I'm not sure I support that. Even with Trump's private edict, a clean extension faces an uncertain path in the House, where a bipartisan coalition of privacy hawks have long demanded sweeping changes to the spy power. People familiar with the vote counting effort don't believe it can clear the 2/3 majority bar for fast-track passage, and GOP lawmakers and senior aides are skeptical their party could unite behind a necessary procedural measure to put it on the floor. What do you guys think? Elf Boy, where are you at, Elf Boy? $4 a gallon? Kentucky is $2.29 a gallon. Eggs at $2.39. I don't remember. I just filled my gas like yesterday too. I want to say it's like $2.60 something. But it could be wrong. Let me look it up. Maybe even $2.40. Yeah, $2.40-ish. Depends where you go, I guess. Some as high as $2.60. Alabama, $2.42. Wisconsin. Oh, yeah, you're in Washington State. Oh, boy, that sucks. $4.30 in California. PJ, are you in Washington as well? $2.89 in Florida. Spencer, where are you at again? Yeah. It'd be so cool if we can get it down below $2 everywhere. But it just goes to show, like, a lot of the gas price stuff has to do with the state. And you got to wonder how many of these blue states are trying to make things as worse as possible financially for their citizens so that they can blame it on Trump and win the midterms. Win the midterms. It's like an Olympic event. King of Biltong, you are forgiven. Texas Spetzel, that's right. 209 in Oklahoma. Crazy. There is you know, some of the stuff. I should just find her tweet because I'm pretty sure she's right about a lot of this. I know it's Senator Warren and she sucks. But when it comes to prices, like if you guys know something I don't, let me know. But I'm pretty sure she's right about some of the prices on this list. Coffee is up 18.3%. Ground beef is up 17.2%. Cereal, 6.2%. Bananas, fish, cookies. Like, do they keep track of cookie prices? But yeah, not everything is up. We should do a full review, or maybe I should do a full review of like some of the prices on things. Because the stock market being up doesn't necessarily benefit everybody, as I've been saying. CS USB Geochem, good to see you, man. Been away starting from the beginning. Hope everyone enjoyed the show. I hope so too. That's the goal every day. Doesn't always work out, but that is just fine. Let's keep going here. A couple more things. Yeah, Schumer defended the people that didn't stand up. We agree. We need to protect Americans, he says. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer defended Democrats for refusing to stand at the State of the Union Tuesday night when he implored them to. We agreed we need to protect Americans. He's not. By his reckless ICE agency in Minnesota, 2 Americans were killed. Americans are being pulled out of their cars and beaten. Americans' houses, the doors are being knocked down, without a warrant. Republicans were quick to capitalize on the moment. How many people have died because of illegal aliens in this country? And then compare that to how many people have died for interfering with police business and not following lawful orders from law enforcement. People are ridiculous. Doesn't matter. There's no coming back from that. Schumer. And that might be all the stories I had for today. So yeah, what do you guys want to talk about for the last 5 minutes? It was my best show today, Polymathon. Thank you, man. I agree. Oh, tonight. So the power out tonight. Normally it's Wednesday show, Burning Bright. But he's in the Northeast and they got pounded by snow and he has no power still somehow. So I think I'm going to have Alpha join me. Alfredo. Mix things up a bit. Curious what you guys think of that. And whether or not, or if you have any ideas of what we should talk about. He's a pretty heavy Q guy. We could have a discussion around that, but I don't know if that'll piss everybody off. Yeah, pray for BB and his electricity. Bets on where silver will be in the first week of March. COMEX default predicted. That's cool. That's a good prediction. I'd love to see it. Don't expect Alpha to be on time. I'm going to tell him it starts 45 minutes before we're supposed to go live, so he gets there on time. Cian Stewart, John's jump shot, non-believer here. You don't think I can play ball? Bro. You should come to a GART, and we can go to gym, and I'll show you my jump shot. I'm basically the Stephen Curry of my driveway. But yeah, so if you have any ideas of what we should talk about, let me know. We should talk about the ways the Q posts dovetail with devolution. I mean, I'd be down to do that. Elf Boy, I must say John's sodium levels were very low today. I'm in a good mood, guys. There's not much to complain. I mean, there's plenty to complain about, but last night, that State of the Union was just great. I'm a driveway legend. That's true. I'm basically undefeated against my son in the driveway when I'm trying. I obviously let him win now and then just to I don't want him to blackpill on basketball or sports. So you got to let him win sometimes, but sometimes I just make it close just to make it seem like he's doing good and then come up clutch at the end with a, long distance tray or something. pop music talk about pop music. I don't want to talk pop music. Yeah. Do a call-in show with Alpha. That could be interesting. Some people love the call-in show. Some people hate it. So I don't know. We could. Maybe we'll do that. We'll kind of play it by ear. I haven't talked to him. He's going to come on. I haven't talked to him about what exactly we're going to do or discuss. Keep an eye on the news and some devolutionary topics, but yeah, I think it'll be a good discussion. How about Bongino simping hard for Erica Kirk? Yeah, they're really trying to make this whole Erica Kirk, Candace Owens a thing. Like, it just kind of came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, it's like everybody, all the major influencers are criticizing one side or the other for either defending Candace or not defending her. Like, it's just so dumb. So dumb. And you don't have to participate in that stuff, by the way. You can just opt out. Anyway, a couple rants here. Also check over on, I already got Babbage's rant. Badlands Media Fan says, I prefer Rumble get the 20% of my contributions, not whatever percentage YouTube would take. I don't know what they take over on YouTube. I don't think we got any super chats over there anyway. King of Biltong. John, hey, John, I sent Brian CanCon some Biltong. If you want a sample, send me an email. Eat Biltong USA. Yeah, I'm totally down. I don't know what that is, but what is Biltong? Look it up. Traditional South African air-dried meat snack? It's like beef jerky. Oh, bro, heck yeah. Dude, you should be a sponsor of Badlands. I'm going to have my people reach out to your people. Phil Scarborough says, I don't get the Erica Kirk hate. I don't hate her. Just the whole thing seems weird. All of it seems weird. And yeah, tattoo teacher, just like your kids right now, more than ever, need like a parent. Go be that. Biltong is like prosciutto, but beef. Let's talk. Okay. We'll reach out. You can always talk about Q proofs. We'll talk about whatever you want. We'll probably do call in tonight. So make sure you guys tune in. 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Me and Alpha. Should be a fun show. And otherwise, I'll be back on tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Daily Herald. Get yourself some soft disclosure. I'll play that ad real quick, and then I'll get you out of here and send you over to. Is anybody else live right now? I don't think so. Breaking History is live, so maybe we'll send you over there. But you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you guys tonight.
In a quiet town at where beards grow wild and lips dare to crack without permission, one woman has suffered.
Hi, I'm Margie, and I'm Jatriot's mother.
But the world would come to know her by another name, Madame Margie, the moistureless.
Jay came home with a lip balm. It's called Soft Disclosure.
With one miraculous application, her power awakened.
Within one day, my lips were healed. It was miraculous.
But salvation came at a cost. For in the shadowed lands known only as Badlands,
You boys at Badlands are so handsome.
she saw potential.
You're covering up your beautiful faces.
And she made her demand.
Shave them all off,
Or face the consequences. Beard oil will not save you now.
and you'll look so much better.
This summer, moisturize wisely and guard your beard. Because Madame Margie, the moistureless, is always watching.
0, 1,
Extra, read all about it.
2, 3. Let's get started.
Oh, that's
That's real good.
Why they stopping me? Stopping me.